So I'm excited. I am out here at the greenhouse ready to get these bags of composted manure and soil into the garden beds so I can move on to the next phase of things, which will be troubleshooting our irrigation. I forgot to bring my camera tripod. So I'm not going to be able to record this process, but that's fine. I need to just get in here and get her done anyway. Okay, here's the new plan. It doesn't look like I'm going to have enough soil to completely fill up all the beds. So I thought, all right, that's fine. I'll partially fill the beds, and then when I'm able to get another load of soil, I'll fill them all up. But if I partially fill the beds, then I can't use any of the beds. And my seedlings are pretty much ready to come in here. So what I've decided to do, instead of partially filling all the beds, I'm just going to focus on completely filling this row here, which is where our tomatoes and cucumbers, anything needing a trellis will go. There's another piece of this cattle panel trellis. I've got to get this cattle panel attached on here. Right now it's just propped. It's not really attached. So, but I'm pulling and tugging on it. I'll have to either get some help. I do have it attached here in the center. So my focus then is going to be on completely filling this row of beds so the tomatoes and cucumbers can go in, and then completely filling this row of beds, which a lot of my peppers and things will go in. And then that way I can just troubleshoot these two irrigation lines. The great thing about the irrigation is these vertical lines coming down here in the rows, I have the ability to cut them on or off at that horizontal header there. So I just cut off the horizontal header for this one until I can fill this row, and then just focus on troubleshooting these two, which I can do one at a time. So I think the focus is going to be filling this bed up, this row up, getting the cattle panel trellis. I've got ant activity in this bed. I'm not going to kick them up, but I'm going to get an outdoor taro trap and stick in this corner. So I think that'll be the focus here. And again, when I say troubleshooting the irrigation lines, these emitters that you see with the red caps, they're inconsistent. Some have been working, some have not. And so it's just a matter of seeing which ones are not working, taking those out, replacing them, or troubleshooting, just to make sure I'm able to get consistent watering. That was one of the things that we battled with in the greenhouse before. So yeah, I'm gonna fill these beds with a little more soil. Actually, this soil level isn't bad. I think it could use, more, but I'm gonna get started on this row over here. I feel like our cattle panel trellis is sturdy enough. It's not the best fastening job, but again, we're just talking plants. Tomatoes and cucumber vines. This is where it's most secure, in the middle, which is great. These are how these are supposed to actually attach. And there's a special tool that you use to do it. I am not the best at using it. I did watch a video on it, and I was able to get it when I first used it a couple years ago. I didn't watch another video this time. I just came out here doing, and basically from memory, it's this clip bender tool. The issue over here is it doesn't entirely fit for one clip. So here I've got two clips kind of wrapped around each other, and here it's just one secured with some tension. Because one of the times when we paid to have someone, the initial clear out of the greenhouse, they cut the cattle panel. So there's another chunk of panel for here to here. And so it's not quite the length. I probably could finagle it because, as you can see, it's got some bend to it, curve to it, but it's just me out here, and this is the best that I could do. And it's good enough. Again, it's for the plants. That's the only thing climbing up here, not people, not animals. And the other chunk of cattle panel is right out here. I might try to, well, no, I need it for the length because it's about from here to here. It would be interesting to try to secure it more vertical instead of horizontal like this, but I already know these T-posts are too far spaced apart to flip it vertical. Anyway, we're doing pretty good. These beds are full enough for planting. Sure, could they use another bag? They could, but I think if we're, really just making a point to mound up and give it the depth to where it needs to be where we're planting, I can always add a bag as I'm planting, put the plants in, add a bag of soil around it, which I think at this point might be the more effective thing to do. Here I am like, no, I'm not going to troubleshoot the irrigation today. Also me, yeah, let me just go ahead and see what it's doing since it's right here, since I put the soil in. So, basically what I'll make sure to do is just make sure my plants are where the emitters are. I think they're all on. Uh-oh, I do have a hole right here, so we want to make sure that we put something on that one. This one, the cap is off of that one. But I really just want to see what my flow is looking like. We've got a cap off that one there. This one right here, there's nothing, so I can put another one of those over. So I will address these few areas and then we'll turn on the water and see what's going on. Part of troubleshooting the irrigation is certainly this part. So I see we've got a leak coming here that I'll have to address. And then here we go. So some of these emitters blew right off, shooting right over here. This is not what I'm trying to do. But what we can do is look and see what emitters are working well. So this one is doing a great job with watering. This one's not doing anything. These, okay, these just needed to be turned on maybe. This might just need to be turned on. Hard to do with one hand. This one, let's see. Alright, I gotta pause here. Yeah, so that one just needs to be turned on. Let's see about this one. Yes, that one just needed to be turned on. Now let's try these two over here. Okay, so I took the cap off. This one's not really doing anything. So I'll have to kind of troubleshoot why this one isn't working. These two down here. Alright, so I can replace those with two more to see if that might help. This is also giving me a good idea of the coverage, the water coverage of in these beds, and how long I need it to water. Definitely have to So one of the emitters broke off, so I'm going to have to get some pliers to try to get that piece out of there. A lot of watering down on this end. I definitely need something here. This is getting over here. Maybe I can get this one to do a little more. Let's see. Okay, that one's going a little stronger. So yeah, this is looking good. Just a couple of problem areas. So this one's not really doing anything. Let's see. Okay, I got it going, doing a little bit. Definitely just will need a plant right there. These two are doing great enough, so if I put a plant right here in this area, that'll work. So just looking to also see where's the best spaces to put a plant. This one popped off. Let's see what this one's doing over here. Not really doing anything, so I want to replace that one. So let's see. I've got 2 that need to be replaced here, 1 here, and then 2 here. All right, let's try it out. We'll also see about tightening this up to take care of this leak. We made a few changes, so let's turn it on. I know we're still going to be leaking here, and that leak is from the timer, so I'll just replace that. Let's go over here and see. All right, no more water shooting out. Oh, is this a leak? Oh, shucks. We've got a wee little leak over here. But the great thing about that is I can just cut this tube here and then put the end cap there. So we'll do that. Put the end cap before the leak. I replaced these. Let's see, maybe they just need to be opened up. Okay, I don't know. It's hard to attach these. I need a lighter, but I don't know that that's enough pressure. I could always just allow it to drip here and over there for a plant. But all of this is looking really, really well. One of the things that I added, I'm really enjoying the reach on this one. In fact, it's reaching a little bit too much. Let's make an adjustment on this. Trying a new one. This is a little drip one. Again, I just have to make sure to have the plants right there. There's a lot of water happening there. Here, these could be spread out a bit more, because what's happening is I have a dead zone right here of dryness, and then an oversaturation zone here. What's happening here? Okay, I was going to attach these to here, but again, I can really just have these tubes. Nothing's coming out of the other one though. See if I can move that one over. Just try to position these where I get more coverage. So basically, from what I'm seeing, we're doing okay. It's not perfect, but it's pretty darn good. Like if I could get more reach in some areas. But I don't want to put any more holes in it. I just want to effectively utilize the ones that I already have. So we'll have to see. This is getting a little bit, but what I probably want is to, so this is really good. If I could, like, nothing's coming out of this one. Opening it, oh, well, that just wasn't attached well. We do have some water coming, but I don't know if that's enough pressure at all. So maybe the issue is the tubing here, this smaller tubing. So I can come through, it could be the tubing that's the issue, it could be this T connector that's the issue. So I need to troubleshoot this last one here. But I think we've got definitely enough flow to get to transplanting out here. So I'll have to get the other cattle panel up. But this is exciting, and I have to replace the automatic timer here for this leak. And that's fine, these things are pretty inexpensive. So that is today's workout in the greenhouse. This has been great. I still have more bags of soil that need to be put in the beds. But I think the way this is gonna work, normally how I prefer to work is do everything in equal layers. So if I'm doing mulch, I'm not done until the walkways and the beds are mulched with wood chips, which we did. If I'm doing soil, I'm not done until I don't move on to the next step in any bed until all the beds are full with soil. And I was going to do the same with irrigation, but I think it's now to just different beds can be in different stages. And it's fine for this bed here to be basically in the completion stage and ready for plants. And then, so we just kind of call this zone 1. And then zone 2, we start prepping these beds, getting all the soil in it, and then troubleshoot its irrigation. And then zone 3. So that's how it's going to play out. Before I forget, I am going to nip this right either at this point and then put the end cap on it. So we snipped it right where we were getting that leak. And now I'm just going to place this end cap over here. End cap off. And again, sorry I don't have my tripod. Okay, got it on. Tightened down. And that's actually pretty good because we were having a bit of an overhang issue here, so that works out perfectly. Alright, so we've got one to troubleshoot down here. We need to make sure we're getting some water. We've got this dry zone right here. We need to make sure that we're getting some water. And I think this bed was okay, except for this area here with these two. And again, I could just let them drip. But first things first, I'm going to get a lighter out here because if you put some heat to these, they become more pliable, and so they secure better. So that's the first thing I'm going to do to see if we can get that going. So I'm pretty happy with this row. And that is going to be all for today. I say that and then I see those remaining bags of soil. Shoot. Alright, I mean, I could just dump. I can come back and spread later. I want to go ahead and get this done. I do want to see what kind of spider this is. Let's see if I can zoom in on it. Are you a brown recluse spider? What kind of spider are you? As much of a zoom as I can get. Whew. It is a hot one. Y'all, it's well into the 70s here. And I am done for the day. I gotta be done for the day. I need a shower, a meal, and a rest while I still can. So, here's what I've done. This row, complete, ready for planting. Irrigation is working. Trellises are up. Still have one more panel to go up. Looks like I need to reinforce this other one over here. I have soil in this row, nearly complete. So we'll need either like another bag of topsoil and another bag of super soil in that last bed over there, and then more topsoil and super soil in these. But I have dumped all the bags I have, save one old bag of topsoil that's going to go in one of these beds, and one bag of super soil that I'll probably cart over here. So this middle zone, tomato and cucumber zone, is for the most part cleared to transplant. Once I replace my water timer, because it's leaking over here, but even with that slight leak, I'd only be running it for about 5 minutes to water. I'm clear to transplant. Over here, this is the next zone, my pepper zone. Once I finish up there and troubleshoot the irrigation, it's going to be clear to plant. Over here, this is where I'm just going to be doing things like tree collards and strawberries, and I haven't quite figured out what else. So that's why this is the last zone. And I am spent, y'all. I want to get out here where the cool breeze is. Oh, I feel it. Oh, it feels wonderful. And I need that breeze to get in that greenhouse. We have our mesh to encourage the breeze here and here, but we need some ventilation. And I am going to be working on doing some grant work to see if we can get solar, not just my panel and my power bank that I sometimes bring out here, but for sure a solar system out here so we can get some fan ventilation through here. Okay, so thanks for joining me. Operation Greenhouse Recovery is a success. And all right, take care.